in order to tell a function is a function from a graph, one way we're going to use it is called the vertical line test. What happens is I take any vertical line, could be any vertical line. If my vertical line touches my graph only once, it's a function. However, if it touches it twice, it's not a function at any point because it's not predictable at that point. In other words, we're saying on this graph with an input of 2, we have 2 different outputs of 2 and of 3. So that's not predictable. So if I take a look at example 7, I've got this equation. I want to determine if it's a function. Well, let's turn this into a table first, and then we'll turn it into a graph. Then we'll look at the function. Since I want to turn it into a table, I want to use my XY table. To make life easier, I'm going to get Y by itself. Because if I get Y by itself, then I can just solve the equation by replacing my numbers from X. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 3X to both sides. So then Y equals 8 plus 3X. Let's pick some values for X. So I'm going to pick several values. I'm going to go from -3 to +3. So in other words, I put -3 in for 3. 3 times -3 is -9 plus 8. That gives me -1. 3 times -2 is -6 plus 8. That gives me 2. 3 times -1 is -3 plus 8 gives me 5. 3 times 0, well, that's 0 plus 8 gives me 8. And then if I put in 1, 8 plus 3 would be 11. Put in 2, 3 times 2 is 6 plus 8 is 14. And 3 times 3 is 9 plus 8 is 17. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a grid here. I'm going to graph these points. So I have -3, -1. I'll have -2 and +2. I'll have -1 and 5. And then I'll have 0 and 8. 1 and 11. And you see the patterns going up? This is continuous, so I'm going to draw my line going through those points. Now, no matter where I draw a vertical line, if I draw it right here, notice it only touches it once. If I draw it right here, it only touches it once. Right here, it touches it once. So yes, this is a function. Why is it a function? Because it's predictable. There's one output for each input. You can use your Desmos graphing calculator to draw a line also. So I'm going to go back to the beginning here just to show you. If I have -3x plus y equals 8. So here's what we do. We go into your Desmos graphing calculator. And in my first line, I'm going to type in -3x plus y equals 8. Notice I get that same line I just drew, but now when I look at it, when I draw a vertical line, it's only going to touch it once. So it's just a shortcut instead of making your table the whole time.